Hey, what's up with this disgusting lunch you packed me? You added way too much salt for me to enjoy. Are you trying to make your husband suffer with this salty meal? What's the matter with you?
I'm sorry, Sean. I've had a stuffy nose since this morning, so I couldn't properly do a taste test. But still, I made your lunch despite my sore throat and fever, so please forgive me.
I didn't ask for your sorry excuses. I can't believe that you'd given your husband a disgusting lunch like this without a second thought.
I tried the best I could despite my body not being at its best. Sean, could I just take it easy for the rest of the day today? I'm sure if I just lay down for a while, my fever will go down.
When I'm over here working hard, my wife wants to lie down and take a nap. What makes you think that I would ever allow something like that?
But I'm not feeling all that good today. I can't clean or do the laundry, let alone get dinner ready. Would you mind eating out somewhere on your way home today?
Enough with your excuses. It doesn't matter how sick you are, you should be able to do simple house chores. You're a housewife. The only reason you're able to live the life you currently live is thanks to me. Stop trying to slack off and get to work.
I do have a fever, though. If I just get some rest today, I promise to do everything I couldn't do tomorrow. So please, just let me get some rest.
How many times do I have to tell you to stop with the excuses? I won't allow you to relax while I'm out here working. You are here to keep doing your job, no matter how high your temperature is. That is an absolute order from your husband. If your fever goes down, then I'll know that you are resting.
Millie, I can't sit back any longer and watch you mistreat my son. How much of a self-centered person can you be? You're able to live comfortably thanks to my son. You should be able to do something as simple as house chores.
Catherine, it's been a while. May I ask why you're so angry?
I'm angry because of you, Missy. You can't even understand something as simple as that. You're completely useless.
Me?
I don't want to be the type to be telling my son's wife off like this, which is why I've been so patient so far. But after you guys got married, you've been so full of yourself, I can't sit back and watch this any longer.
What?
Sean has been telling me about how you can't do simple chores properly. You can't even cook or clean properly. Apparently you've been slacking off with the cooking as well.
He's been saying that about me?
You didn't even make him lunch today and gave him instant noodles instead? I can't believe you'd stoop so low.
Hang on a minute, I haven't done any of that.
I do all the chores properly. I even made his lunch today.
Although, today was a bit of a failure. That was all due to me feeling pretty sick today. I always make his lunches properly.
My son has been telling me the opposite. It seems like you're slacking off as well today.
What?
It seems like you don't understand where you stand in this life. As a wife, you're supposed to respect your husband. You're able to live comfortably because of Sean. If you can't understand that, then obviously you need some lessons from me.
It seems like you won't listen to anything I say, but will listen to anything Sean will say.
Fine then. If that's how it is, then I'll take your lessons or whatever else you want. How rude! What is the matter with you? This is not how you should be talking to your mother-in-law.
I'll let you lecture me tomorrow. Right now, I have a 104-degree fever that I need to worry about. My head is gradually growing blank. Please just let me rest. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Wait, 104? You were feeling that sick? If that was the case, then you should have said so earlier.
Your son didn't tell you? The reason why I was slacking off all day today was due to my fever.
What?
Despite that, I did try to make his lunch for today, but I guess after complaining to me that it was too salty, he went and bought instant noodles. I wonder if he threw out the food I made him.
You made him lunch, even though you were this sick? He didn't tell me anything about that. He just said that you didn't make him anything, so he had to go out and buy some noodles from the nearby store.
It seems like he's been telling you a variety of things about me. I'm sorry, but I don't have the strength to defend myself against these allegations right now. I do need to rest now, so I'll talk to you later.
We'll worry about that later. We should first do something about that fever of yours. What is going on here? This is completely different from what I've been hearing. Millie, if there's anything you need me to pick up for you, you just let me know, okay? Sean's at work, so you can rely on me.
Sean, let me in! Why did you kick me out of the house so suddenly? Did I say something weird while I was asleep?
Your coughing was way too annoying. It's midnight and yet you're loudly coughing away. Your husband can't sleep through all the noise you're making.
I'm sorry, but I can't do anything about coughing.
If you can't do anything about it, then you can just stay outside. There, problem was solved. You can cough all you want outside and you won't be a disturbance to anyone else.
What? You're telling me that I have to spend the entire night outside, but I'm sick! I have a fever of 104, you know?
If that's the case, then this is a perfect chance for you to cool down. It's cold enough outside, so you should be able to cool down your body properly.
You're kidding.
I have work tomorrow. I'm part of an important group, so I can't take the day off. I can't risk getting sick from you. For the sake of your husband's health, you need to stay outside all night.
You'd kick your sick wife outside in the cold like this? You're not even the slightest bit worried? You're so cruel, Sean.
What are you talking about? When I came home, you were done with all the chores, and you managed to make me dinner. You just made up the excuse of your fever just so that you could slack off.
What did you say?
Oh, brother, this sucks. Thanks to you, I'm still awake this late at night. I have to wake up early, so I'm gonna sleep now. Make sure to cool down throughout the night. Millie, where in the world are you? You're home, aren't you?
Huh?
Your husband decided to be nice and wake up early to let you back in the house, but you were nowhere to be seen. Because of you, I had to buy my breakfast from the corner store.
You locked your wife out all night. Don't you have something that you would like to say about that? You're not going to ask how I'm doing or apologize for what you did yesterday?
Huh? Why would I apologize to you? If anything, you should be apologizing to me. Interrupting my sleep with your loud coughing all night. Then you disappear without making me breakfast or lunch.
What?
You need to be more grateful to me. I mean, because I locked you out all night, your fever should have gone down by now, right? Are you feeling all better now? If that's the case, then you have no reason to be slacking off on your chores now.
Your wife is no longer here.
What?
Millie is no longer your wife. I made her file for your guys' divorce. If you know what's good for you, then you'll leave her alone for the rest of your life.
Forced her to file for divorce? What's that all about? If anything, who are you? A friend trying to play hero for a damsel in distress?
Wrong. I'm her mother-in-law, otherwise known as your mother. Sean, what have you been doing to that poor girl?
What? Mom?
I haven't been able to control my anger all night long. What heartless person would throw a person who is obviously very sick outside in the cold all night long? I have no recollection of raising you to behave this way.
Wait, why are you there with her? Why are you on her phone?
I have been taking care of Millie since last night when you locked her out. She called me out of nowhere last night, asked for my help, and then lost connection. When I rushed over to the house, where she was unconscious outside, I thought I was going to have a heart attack looking at the scene in front of me.
What?
The door to the house was locked, and I saw the text messages sent between you and her. From there, I got the gist of what happened and immediately took her to the hospital. She was hospitalized all night and was discharged earlier this morning. From there, I encouraged her to file for divorce immediately.
Why would you do that? I'm glad that you went through all the trouble to help out my wife, but still, why would you force a divorce into this situation?
That's because it was what I thought would be best for her. I did nothing wrong in this.
For Millie? Oh, is it for this wife training thing? You force a divorce so that she would understand how grateful she should be for me, right? Thanks, Mom. You're the best. Just keep teaching her all the important things. She sucks at doing any of the chores. She's by far the worst wife ever.
Huh? What are you talking about? Where is this horrible wife you're talking about? Because I know that Millie is definitely not one. She does everything perfectly and hasn't taken one single day off to take care of herself. If anything, it's amazing how she didn't get sick earlier.
What?
The reason why I told her to file for divorce is for her to be free from you.
When I believed everything you said about her, I handed you the papers to file for divorce, right? I told you to sign it so that you can hand it over at any given time. I never imagined that it would have to be used like this.
What are you talking about, Mom? It seems like you're mad at me rather than at Millie.
I've gone way past anger now, and I've just settled in pure disbelief over this entire situation. I can't believe that you were lying to me this whole time. This whole time you complained about how useless she was, but after hearing Millie out, it was completely the opposite.
What?
I was too worried about her health yesterday and decided to go check on her. And what I saw was her doing all the chores even though she had such a high fever. I couldn't stand by and watch, so I did all the rest of the tasks for her.
Really?
I can't forgive you for what you've done as a woman and a wife. You completely abuse your position as a husband against your wife and lie to your mother. What is it that you were trying to achieve by doing all this?
Calm down, Mom. You've got it all wrong here. I was doing all this for Millie's sake.
Huh?
I respect you a lot, Mom. You gave your all for your family. You were the example I wanted as a mother and the example of the perfect wife. So in order for her to be just like you, I was being all mean to her on purpose. I thought that her skills would improve more that way.
That was completely pointless, seeing as how perfectly she does everything. It was apparent when I visited her yesterday. She does her best every single day.
Oh, you don't get it. She's pretty bad at cooking. Compared to you, her cooking is so bad. My favorite fried chicken especially tastes horrible when she makes it. I keep telling her to make it as good as you do, but she doesn't improve in the slightest.
You had a favorite dish? Why didn't you say so earlier? I got those from a nearby restaurant that specializes in chicken.
Wait for the chicken place. Those were all from there?
Yep, at first. I tried a bunch of ways to make my chicken taste good, but then one day when I wasn't feeling all too well, I decided to buy some from there and served it out for dinner. You finished those chickens way faster than any of the ones I've made. You even said that you love those, so I started to buy chicken from them every time.
What?
I just reheat and sometimes refry them just before dinner. If anything, your favorite curry dishes and hamburgers are also just takeout from the nearby stores.
Really?
No matter how much effort I put into cooking, if my child says that he prefers that over my own, then what else is there to do? I eventually gave up on being perfect at chores. I started to see them as a hassle more and more.
Millie makes everything but the chicken really good. She never even had takeout for dinner since we got married.
And yet you threw her outside and locked the door. Unbelievable. She's going to be spending a few days with me. In the meantime, you are not allowed anywhere near us.
Millie, where are you? Please come back home to me.
Never. Thanks to your mother, I finally was able to get a divorce. I don't want you ever to be in control of my life ever again.
What do you mean by that? Sure, I was a bit harsh to you and all, but I still did my job as a husband and supported you.
Huh?
I promised to fix my attitude towards you, so please come back to me. You've gotten better and left my parents' house already, right? I don't know where you are now, but please come back. I can't live without you here with me.
You complained about me being useless all the time to people, and now all of a sudden you can't live without me the moment I'm gone?
Well, that's because I don't know how to cook or clean. I've been eating takeout this whole time, and now the house is a mess. All the laundry is all wrinkled, and I don't have a clean shirt to wear to work tomorrow.
I have no intention of being your maid anymore. If that's what you want, then you can go hire one that'll do everything perfectly. Or better yet, find a healthy wife who won't ever get sick.
Looked for a maid to hire, but they all cost so much money. I tried using dating apps and got women to come over, but the moment they saw the trash-filled house, they all left. There's no way I can get remarried like this.
You don't want to spend money, but you want them to do the chores? You're such a horrible person.
You were doing it for me. This time I promise to be more helpful, so please. I'll even give you an allowance. So please, come back to me. My parents abandoned me, and now I don't have anyone I can rely on.
Your parents abandoned you?
I heard that you left my place, so I figured that it was finally my chance to go home, so I rushed over to them. But both my mom and dad sprayed me down with a hose and disowned me right there, claiming that they don't want a son as embarrassing as I am.
Oh my. Those two were that mad, huh? Maybe I spoke too much about our married life to them.
Please, Millie, I'm begging you, let's get back together. I promise to cherish you this time. You're struggling from being a full-time housewife to having to provide on your own, right?
Yeah, it's a bit hard, but I'm having fun, so it's fine. Thanks to your mother, I managed to fully recover and found a job immediately. The manager there is so nice and handsome. I can't help but want to be around him all the time.
What? It's only been a month since we got a divorce. You're moving on to a different man already?
Women can recover quickly, you know. So would you mind leaving me alone? To me, you're just a horrible ex-husband from the past. I don't care a single bit what a man like you is doing.
But...
Goodbye, Sean. Hopefully, you'll be able to make your favorite dishes on your own. After that, I haven't gotten a single message from my ex-husband. If anything, I got all the money that I was due from our divorce the next day, so I'm guessing that his mother had something to do with all this. Every once in a while, she sends me a text checking up on me. If Sean hadn't been lying about me, then maybe we could have gotten along better than the relationship we have now. As for Sean, it seems like he has tried multiple times to get back in his parents' good graces, but they hose him down with water each time. He eventually started attending a class for house chores, but then told the teacher there that she should be doing his chores, which resulted in him getting banned from there. The encounter between them got spread all over social media, and now he is seen as a man who can't do simple tasks nationwide.
Hey, Selena, are you there? I wanted to talk to you about Julie's wedding. You see, I think I'd actually like you to stay home and take care of things while I go. In fact, I'm actually going to be going with my ex-wife.
Excuse me? What in the world are you talking about?
Well, it's just that she's Julie's real mom and you're not. I just think it would be better if her and I went and you stayed home.
But, I mean, you can't just ask me to do this out of nowhere. Besides, that woman might be Julie's biological mother, but I am her parent. I've been raising that girl for the past 20 years that we've been together. You can't just tell me that you're going to be giving my seat to your ex?
I don't know what else you want me to say. I was talking to Ruth and she said that she really wants to be there. And ever since Julie announced that she was getting married, Ruth has been even more vocal about being there at the wedding. And I think it would be pretty awkward if we try to give both you a space there, don't you think? So please, can you just stay at home that day?
How can you even suggest something like that? Why should I have to stay at home? If anyone should be missing from Julie's wedding day, it's Ruth. Are you forgetting that after she gave birth, she abandoned you with Julie? And after that, you're just going to let her waltz into the wedding and pretend to be a mother again?
Okay, now hold on just a second. I really don't think that you're being fair to Ruth at all. I mean, like it or not, she did carry and give birth to Julie. And I think that means we owe her at least a little bit of our respect, don't you?
No, actually, I do not think that we owe her even a single ounce of respect.
Selena, please. I really think that you're being unreasonable. Yes, you might have raised Julie for basically all her life. But are you really going to tell me that that's worth more than being someone's actual biological parent? Think of it this way. The whole reason you were able to raise Julie in the first place is because Ruth did what she did. So in a way, you kind of owe her, don't you think? I know that you think you dedicated the last 20 years of your life to Julie, but don't let that get you carried away.
Carried away? Are you kidding me right now, Richard? Why are you even defending Ruth right now? I remember that when you and I first got together, all you would ever do is complain about Ruth.
Well, that was then and this is now. And the fact of the matter is that I think that Ruth deserves to see her daughter get married. Just like any parent should for their children. She even wrote a letter for Julie that she wants to give to her on her wedding day. She was crying when she was telling me about her plan to give it to her.
You're still not telling me how you can just forgive her for all of this.
I know that Ruth wronged Julie and I. She betrayed us and I get that. But I think that she's really changed her ways. She called me the moment she heard that Julie was getting married and I could hear the tears in her voice. She's not the same woman that she used to be. I know it.
Hold on just a second here. Why is she calling you so often about this? Have you two been meeting in person?
Well, after she called me, I did ask her out to lunch just because it had been so long. And then lately, we've been going out drinking too.
Excuse me? When were you going to tell me any of this?
I wasn't really thinking about it. All I could think about was how much prettier Ruth has gotten over the years. So now we've been keeping in contact mostly to coordinate stuff about the wedding. But did you know that Ruth still isn't remarried? I guess she just never got over leaving Julie and I. That's how I know that she really meant what she was telling me.
I don't get it, Richard. Are you telling me that after all this time, you've rediscovered feelings for your ex-wife?
I'm just glad that you said it so that I wouldn't have to. But it's true. My heart has already decided. So I think it would be best if we just ended our marriage now so that I could get back together with Ruth and put our family back together. But don't worry, I'll never forget all the good times that we had together.
I don't believe what I'm hearing. How could you do this to me?
Well, I'm just thinking that this would be best for Julie. Besides, Ruth promised not to cheat on me anymore and that she would be loyal for the rest of her life. I think the timing of this is all a sign that this is the right thing to do. That's why we're going to get married and have a second chance at our life.
I don't even know what to say to you right now. You've been secretly going out with your ex-wife? Then you tell me that I should give up my seat to Ruth for Julie's wedding. And now you're telling me that you want a divorce so that you can marry Ruth again? Do you have any idea just how much of an idiot you're being?
I really am sorry for where this leaves you, Selena, but even Julie thinks that Ruth and I should get back together. She said, I hope you two have a nice life when I told her about it. So you see, she's really happy for the two of us.
I don't believe it. Did Julie really tell you two to have a nice life?
Of course she did. You don't think that she's happy to be getting her real mom back after all these years? And what's more, to have both of them at her wedding watching her proudly? Honestly, if that isn't enough to make you agree to all of this, then I don't know what to say.
Are you kidding me right now?
Look, I'm in love with Ruth, and we're getting back together. She is going to be at Julie's wedding and not you, so don't bother showing up.
Okay, fine then.
Oh, and by the way, I have some divorce papers that we should sign once I'm back home.
Oh, trust me, we couldn't get divorced fast enough to make me happy. I dedicated the last 2 decades of my life to you and Julie. I can't believe that you both betray me like this, but if this is what you want, then don't let me stand in your way.
Thank you so much for your understanding. I knew that you would if we just talked this out.
Hey, Julie, I just want to let you know that your father and I are getting a divorce. I'm very sad that I won't be at your wedding, but I really do wish you all the joy and happiness in the world. I also transferred some money to your bank account as a little wedding present. I hope you have a wonderful life, Julie.
Wait, what? Mom, what are you talking about? You and Dad are getting a divorce? What's going on? Did something happen? Did the two of you get into a fight or something like that?
What do you mean, Julie? Your dad told me that you were already informed about this. Don't you know that he's getting back together with Ruth, your birth mother? That's why he and I are breaking up.
He's doing what? This is the first that I'm hearing about any of this at all.
Wait, really? Are you sure? Your dad told me that he had talked to you about this. He told me that you were very supportive of him getting back together with Ruth.
He said that I was supporting him getting back together with Ruth? When did this happen? Did he really think that I'd ever approve of this? Mom, I have no idea what's going on here at all, but I want you to know that it isn't how like you're saying at all.
I'm confused then. What is going on?
Well, Dad actually called me not that long ago to talk about his plans after I get married. Well, he told me that he was going to be selling the house and moving into a condo with Mom. Then he asked me what I thought of that, and I told him that it was a great idea and that I wish you two all the best. But that whole time, he only used the word Mom. So obviously I assumed that he was talking about the two of you. He never mentioned Ruth even once.
I see. But then what does this mean? What is even going on? Are you telling me you had no idea that your dad was getting back together with Ruth? Well, I guess that means you don't know that she's planning on being at your wedding too, right?
Excuse me? She better not be. Is that why you wouldn't be coming to my wedding? Because my dad was trying to replace you with her?
Your dad was telling me that I guess Ruth has some letters she wrote that she's been wanting to give you.
I don't even want to even see the envelope that's holding that letter. Why would I want anything to do with a woman that cheated on my dad and left us? I can't believe that he would want anything to do with her either.
I don't know. I guess he said that she's really changed over the years. He said that she's only gotten prettier with time. I guess he just fell back in love with her. After all, Ruth was your father's first love, you know.
Even so, if my dad is letting a woman like Ruth fool him, then he's just being stupid. You're the only mom I need. You were the woman who raised me for the past 20 years. How could Dad ever think I'd want otherwise?
Oh, Julie, thank you so much for saying all of that. It makes me feel so much better.
Well, just know that I'm going to do something about this, so you have nothing to worry about, and you will be getting an invitation when I have the dates down. You are going to be the only mom at my wedding.
Selena, are you there? Please, you have to take me back. Let's get married again. I've signed my portion of the wedding certificate, so now I just need your signature.
What in the world are you talking about? What happened to you and Ruth?
We're not going to be getting married anymore. She ran away from me right before we were supposed to sign the marriage papers.
She ran away? What does that even mean?
I don't know. I think that she was cheating on me again. How could I ever have believed her? Actually, I know that she was cheating on me because I caught her texting several other men.
Was she really?
That's right. Not only that, but she was talking to someone slated to take over his family's company. I guess when she found that out, she figured to cut her losses with me.
I see. So basically you're saying that your actions have finally come around to bite you.
Please, I never should have divorced you. I was fooled by Ruth's crocodile tears, but they were all just lies. You have to forgive me for this. I was fooled. Can't you see that? I'm a victim here too.
Are you seriously trying to call yourself a victim in this?
Now, I understand why you might be mad about this, but I really hope you can see how I'm not to blame for this at all. You're not actually going to let 20 years of being together go to waste, are you? Let's just go home and be a family again. We can even go as a couple to Julie's wedding. What do you think?
I think that you're a bit late for that since we're in the middle of the wedding now.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that the wedding is going on right now and I'm here as Julie's mother. Even the rest of your family is here. Everyone but you, that is.
I don't get it. What's going on here? What do you mean the wedding is going on right now? Julie's wedding isn't supposed to be today?
Oh, I'm afraid it is. I'm here looking at how beautiful Julie looks in her wedding dress. Everyone here is crying tears of joy, just so happy to see her.
Wait, but this can't be right. I haven't heard of Julie setting a date for a wedding. I haven't even gotten an invitation. Are you telling me that Julie is getting married and she didn't even invite me?
I wonder if that might have something to do with you not being her dad at all.
What is that supposed to mean? Of course I'm her father. She's my daughter. She's my flesh and blood.
You still don't get it, do you? Family is so much more than genetics. I thought you would have figured that out by now. Does the fact that Julie calls me mom mean nothing to you?
What are you getting out?
And in that same vein, she doesn't think of you as her father one bit. In the past 20 years, you've barely been a parent to her at all.
Oh no, this is really bad. I have to get a hold of Julie right away. This can't be happening. I'm her father. There's no way that I'm gonna miss my daughter's wedding. Maybe she just forgot to send me one. There's no way that she wouldn't invite me to something as big as this.
I'm sorry, but you'll have to do all of this later. We're all in the middle of her wedding. If you bothered her about this, it would only ruin her day, so why can't you just give her this day?
But that would mean missing my own daughter's wedding. This can't be happening. I have to get there right now.
Do you even know where the wedding is happening? Look, I really don't have time for this. I'm here to enjoy Julie's wedding. So just accept that Julie has decided on her own who her parents are.
Hey, Mom, I just wanted to thank you again so much for today. I was really nervous, but seeing you there for me was a huge help.
And thank you so much for inviting me to your beautiful wedding. I was just touched the whole time. And I promise to always treasure this letter you've written me. It was all beautiful.
I'm really glad that you liked it, Mom. Anyways, my friends and I are going to be going out soon, so I guess we'll talk later, right?
Sorry, just one more thing before you go. I really recommend you turn off your phone before going out. I just know that your dad is going to try and get a hold of you to talk about all of this.
Oh, trust me, I've noticed. He's been blowing up my phone for hours now. I guess it sounds like things didn't work out so well with him and Ruth, right? He even told me that you told him you didn't want to marry him even though he offered.
Well, of course I wouldn't want to marry a man like him again after all of this.
And I don't blame you. I even told Dad as much. In fact, I told him that after today, I'd never ever talk to him again.
You mean you're just going to cut your dad out of your life?
Of course. He's hardly been a parent to me, especially compared to you. And I wouldn't want the man who treated you the way he did in my life any longer.
Well, I guess that means that your dad really is going to be all alone after this. You know, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I can't even come up with a good memory I have with Dad. And of course, I'm sorry that he was cheated on by Ruth, but I think he was always using that as an excuse for his behavior. And I know that because of that, he made your life much more difficult when it came to being married and raising me. But even before he married you, life wasn't easy for me with him anyways.
Wait, really? You mean that even before I came, your dad wasn't doing a good job of raising you?
He would always have my hair cut so short, and when I asked him why, it's because he said if I had it any longer, it reminded him too much of Ruth. And he was always picking out clothes that he said Mom would never wear that I should. He basically tried to control my life because he hadn't gotten over what Ruth did to him.
I see. Well, I don't think I had any idea of that at all.
And I guess even 20 years later, he still wasn't over her. I would have thought that having a new family would have meant that he'd moved on, but I guess not. Really, he was just waiting for Ruth to come back into his life so he could drop everything and be with her.
Julie, I'm so sorry for all that you've had to go through, even when you were little before I met you.
But you did so much for me. You let me get whatever haircut I wanted and helped me figure out my own sense of fashion. You treated me the way a real parent should. And now I know that you're the only real parent that I've ever had. So I hope that I've been half as good the daughter to you as you've been the mother to me.
Oh, sweetie, well, I don't know what to say, except of course, you're my family and you always will be.
I love you, Mom, so much. But my friends are asking when we're going to be leaving for the after party, so I think I really do have to go now. We'll talk soon, though, and thanks again for everything.
After that, I heard through the grapevine that Richard went through with his plan to sell the house. Of course, now he had no one to move in with. Ultimately, he ended up going to live with his parents, but that didn't last long as they realized housing Richard would mean not seeing Julie anymore. They told Richard that he had screwed up his family, but that he shouldn't try and screw up theirs. Richard was only allowed to stay with them for a week before being asked to move out. Even after he moved out, his parents were still giving him flack about letting things with Julie deteriorate to the point that she wouldn't even invite him to her wedding. After that, I heard he moved to a new town and is trying to start a whole new life where nobody knows him. As for Ruth, it turns out her new man was nothing but a fraud, and that his business collapsed not long after their marriage. I hear that Ruth is still with this man, trapped by the debt and scared to leave. Julie enjoyed the rest of her wedding night and even went on a lovely honeymoon trip with her new husband. The whole time she was there, she was sending me lots of pictures and messages. I told her not to forget to enjoy her trip while she was on it. While she was away, I moved into an apartment by myself. When she returned, Julie came to visit me and we had a belated housewarming party. She told me all about her trip and we didn't say a word about her father.